Okay, so today was absolutely chaos. It started from the morning and then it just kind of seemed like it went insane after. So insane that I'm actually wearing a colored shirt. Did you notice? It's not black. It's not gray. It's not dark blue. It's not dark green. I found it in my closet and I thought, let's do it. So here I am. Oh, man, I don't even know where to start with today, but I do have a theory that I've kind of stumbled upon. So here it is. It is about 6 o'clock at night, so I've been kind of thinking about it over time because this morning I had a doctor's appointment at DaVita with Dr. Olivier. And because I am in and out so fast, we do a lot of telehealth, which means that we do it over the phone because he doesn't really need to see me. We have conversation. I don't even think it is 10 minutes long. Now, if I need conversation, then absolutely they are 100% willing to stop and converse. And they have the whole team there and everything. So it's not like I'm special treatment or it's any other way than any other patient. It's just that I don't have to drive across town for 10 minutes, if not less. So anyhow, I had my blood work done with them at my last appointment, which was 3 weeks ago, which would be April 3rd-ish, something like that. And the question was, why was my phosphate so high? I have to take binders because my body doesn't naturally break down the phosphates as easily as regular people would. And that's part of the kidney disease. So I was trying to think, what did I do that would cause a spike in my phosphates? Now, if you look at phosphates, you can't escape them unless you just never eat because, well, in a sense, because phosphates is in everything, according to what I understand, phosphates is in everything that God created or the Creator created or whatever you want to believe created. Okay, so it'll be like meats, animals, the planet, plants, those, what the planet made, wherever you want to pull whoever created it from. So that's up to you. I personally believe God created, okay? So phosphates is in every living thing. So you can't escape it. Except in some ways you can when you eat processed, preservative-filled, fake, chemically filled food. And as I was laying down taking my nap, I started to think about how my phosphates are always going to be high, just like cholesterol, because I don't eat processed, preservative, chemically filled fake food. Now, in some ways, according to that number, eating that crappy food would be a plus because that would control your phosphates. But I am not going to do that. I am not going to do that. So I'm going to have to explain that is why my phosphates are high, which I just don't think we paused a moment to really dive deep into that, because I said, what was the date of the lab work? Because I could probably be able to explain why that was so high. Now, for example, yesterday was Easter's, and Donnie and I have rarely participated in eating junk. I'm very proud of us. But we're fairly so, we're very like-minded. So there's times it's funny where he's a little bit I kind of feel like ice cream. And I'm like, I don't really want to. And then there's times where I'm like, I could really go for ice cream. And then he's like, do you want me to go to the store? So it's we tend to cancel each other's desires out because realistically we're like, nah. But yesterday, for some reason, I was like, I would really like to enjoy a Krispy Kreme donut. Here in Tucson, Krispy Kreme donuts had a big building place, whatever, and when it became new to us long ago, I just thought it was such a cool thing because they would show you how they made the donuts. They had this whole like donut belt thing that they would like punch out the donuts and then they'd throw them on the conveyor belt and then it would travel along and you could watch this whole thing. It goes into the oil, it comes out, they decorated all this jazz, right? I just thought it was so cool. So I think that's why I always had a fondness for Krispy Kremes. And I think they're really good. I try not to get any of the extra ones, like the extra special. I have gotten the Elf Christmas donut selections, and those are delightful. But I didn't this last year. And so I just felt like a regular, basic, glazed, covered donut. And Donnie was talking about ice cream. So we went out. We had our steak and our eggs, and I made a little bit of this like potato hash, kind of like hash browns, kind of concoction with jalapenos and onion, and it was really good. So we had our dinner, our lunch dinner, whatever you want to call it, because we only usually eat once a day, but we eat real well, right? So we ate that, and then a couple hours later, he was like, are you still in the mood for that ice cream? And I was like, yeah, you know what? It's Easter. Let's just do it. So we stopped by Krispy Kreme, and we got our 2 donuts, which ended up being $6. I was like, dang. I have noticed that they have started to make the donuts smaller and more dense. Or not dense. What is it when it's lighter? It's not heavy. So whatever that is. And then we swung by Culver's because I really like their ice cream. I think Culver's is a good company because they also have grass-fed beef on their menu, which I totally forgot about because we just don't eat enough out for that. But anyways, they were closed for Easter. Yay, I'm happy that they were. So then we decided, I noticed Dairy Queen was also closed. So we stopped at a place called Bahama Bucks, which is the heaven of ice cream, slushy, milkshakes, smoothie kind of style drinks. I mean, their menu to me is very overwhelming. The first time I went there, I was like, I have no idea what any of this stuff is. I just want a little cup of vanilla ice cream, and it was delightful. And so anyhow, Donnie and I went through there, and what I found is that my son has treated me to their, I want to say it's called Blue Hawaiian. So it has like rum, or like I should say pina colada, rum flavors, banana. It's like more tropical. It's very cool. Has whipped cream and cherry on top. And then Donnie went for the super chocolate thing. So I tell you, when Donnie's going to cheat, he goes big. So he got the regular size, which was regular size. And I was like, no, I just want a small. And the small, I didn't hardly, I mean, I almost finished it, but I didn't. But we were disappointed in our donuts because they were not phenomenal. Maybe it was the time of day we got them. I don't know. The ice cream, though, however, was really good. So in my head, I was thinking, if I had blood work done today, I wonder how eating that stuff would affect where my phosphates were. Because that is such an odd thing for me to eat. So I started to think, what did I eat April 3rd, or basically the night before, April Fool's Day, April 2nd, that would have spiked something in my phosphates. But when I think about it, I'm like, there's really nothing that I have had that would spike that I believe, because I don't think pizza, if that would probably be the culprit, would be that high in phosphates. I don't know. So I need to look at whether pizza has more phosphates or steak. I'm thinking the steak is going to. So anyhow, I figured, like, I was thinking about that all day, and I was like, what would have spiked it? Now, tomorrow for family dinner, I am making fry bread. So I know that I have to make my fry bread piece and my fry bread taco earlier in the day, and I will consume that if I choose to eat. Tomorrow I'm debating whether I want to fast, but that could spike lab work if I were to have it done tomorrow, which I'm not, but I'm just saying, see where my mind's going with this? Anyway, so as I was thinking about that today, that's how particular I am in eating. That's how I know what I consume, what I don't consume. So I'm like, I bet you, because I eat so much beef, my cholesterol is always going to be high because of that, and I am not worried about it. I'm not afraid of it. That's a whole nother theory I have. But then I'm thinking, wouldn't it make sense that my phosphates are higher because I'm eating beef? But I am not going to sacrifice eating good quality meats and eggs and whatever else it is for eating crap food that is going to somehow lower that because I'm not eating real food. So then I thought, what a manipulation of test results. And I'm not saying that Davita or my nurse, my dietitian, whatever she is doing that intentionally. I think this is where they've been trained, and this is where they're looking at it like they have to go by something. But I think, and it fills me with excitement to think, maybe those things can start to change. Because in my head, realistically, if I'm tracking this right, realistically, the more crappy food I eat, the lower my phosphates will be. Right? Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I've had too long of a day today. Maybe I'm home too much and I am overthinking, because I can do that. So that's my day. That's what I'm thinking about. Please let me know what your thoughts are. It would be great to see where you guys are thinking. But I just feel like that is something that's going to need to change in time. So anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good day. Drink your water. And here in Tucson, it's getting real warm fast. So talk to you guys later.